Okay, it says I'm streaming. Let's see if I'm actually streaming. It says I'm streaming, but I've never done this before, so let us see what is happening here. Oh yeah, it's like, you're live. Okay, can I see the chat from my phone? So I'm also recording this for YouTube because this is going to be an ongoing thing where I'm going to be working on a tarot deck. So the actual coloring process of the tarot deck is going to be done on my computer, which is right in front of me. And I'm excited. I don't even know how many times I've watched during my lifetime artists go live. And can I look at my own fucking chat? Okay, I can see the chat on my phone because I don't want to miss it once I start drawing on the computer. Oh no. Let me turn that off. Okay. I don't need to hear myself. Alright, bear with me. So I'm using Clip Studio Paint for this video. I'm going to be working on tarot cards that I'm designing. This is going to be the Eight of Pentacles, which is one of the cards I started with. And I think it's honestly appropriate considering the state that I'm in at this moment, even just creating. If you don't know anything about me, this is the first time you're seeing me, this is the first time you're watching me. I'm typically a tarot reader. I've been an artist my entire life, but I've also been doing professionally reading tarot for about 3 years now, but I've been studying it my whole life because it's been passed down in my family. And I've recently decided that the reason, or realized really, it wasn't really a decision, it was kind of just a realization about my own purpose, is that I should be actually creating a deck instead of just reading, which is why I think I went into doing it professionally for a while so I could get more comfortable with the meanings, finding my own meanings and stuff like that. So if you're watching this at a later time, feel free to leave a comment if you're watching on YouTube about anything tarot related, or maybe even just about the imagery or just anything. You can ask me questions. I love to answer questions on this because it's gonna help me think deeper also, because I feel like I'm not asking myself enough questions as it is. Let me turn the volume up on this. I just want to be able to know that this is fine and that I can see myself. Okay. So, let's start drawing. I'm thinking maybe I should turn music on or something, but I haven't figured that out yet either. Ho ho ho! I'll figure it out at some point. I hope this isn't lagging. Alright, let's just get to it. I'm going to switch to this. We're going to go to Clip Studio Paint. Oh yeah. Okay. Hey. Okay. So this is the Eight of Pentacles that I've been working on. I probably did this drawing originally maybe a year or two ago. Just kind of playing around with the idea of the Eight of Pentacles in general, and I think he's mostly done. But a lot of this deck that I'm creating has fairies, so I think I want to add some maybe flecks of light or something. What is on him? Can I mute my video while also Adding. I want to add music. I can't just like. But I also want to make sure I'm following the chat because I can't see the chat when I'm actually in Clip Studio Paint. This is the problem. You know what? Maybe I'm just like, I wish I had, what is it? I wish I had music that like wouldn't conflict with me streaming right now, because I could just play music in general, but that's not a good idea. What are we gonna do with this man? I wanted electricity coming out of his fingers, so maybe we'll just focus on that and maybe figuring out where I want to put some little fairies somewhere, like real small. I think he's coming out good though. Like he's like, I would say he's like 85% done. I feel like I need to render a couple things. I still want to play music. It's frustrating me. This is the only issue I'm having. What do? Oh my god. Maybe if I just, because I want to be able to see the chat. Because you guys are here. So let me figure this out. Can I take the chat out? Hello, Evelyn. Thank you. See, this is, I want to be able to see what y'all are saying is the problem. Why? Tell me why. It's because I'm in fucking, you know what? It's because I'm in tablet mode. When I'm in tablet mode on my computer, I can't look at certain things the same as a regular computer, so I'm going to switch to tablet mode. But I'm going to switch to regular mode, but have my computer as a tablet to draw, so I can keep the windows open. Okay, let's see if that works. That some of this video is just gonna be me trying to figure out what the fuck is going on. Now the chat is over here. Can I put this on a split screen? Yes, that's better. What's this here and this here? I want to move this over. Now it won't let me move this. That's wonderful. I'm gonna lose my mind. Oh. If you're still watching, thank you, because... Oh, there we go. Okay. Yes. Yes! I've done it! I figured it out. I figured it out enough on my own computer. Move this over. Am I going to have enough room? Yes. We We got this. Okay. Alright, I figured it out. Okay, so back to display capture. Wonderful. So now, there we go. So now I can see you guys over here. And now I can play music on my phone without losing my goddamn minds. I'm probably gonna play some lo-fi, because that's usually royalty free. So we're gonna play some lo-fi. Okay, we are ready. I'm ready. Fuck. That was loud. There we go. Okay, finally. Oh! I figured it out. Alright. Now let's just draw. So maybe like a light purple. This tarot card is the Eight of Pentacles. Evelyn. That's this one. I don't know why I started with the Eight of Pentacles, but I'm glad I did, because I feel like that's a lot of the energy that's going around right now, in terms of like we just went into an Aries. Yeah, this is going to be a fairy color. We just went into the Aries New Moon, and a lot of us are like kind of figuring out what we want to be working on for the next 6 months, up to the next 6 months. Obviously, this is what I chose. If I stick to an actual, like, somewhat of a schedule, like, with the cards, if I design, I feel like if I design, I have a solid design for at least 4 cards a week. I'll be able to get this done, the deck itself, the designing part, done within 4 months, which is the goal. I've kind of figured out how I want to print them already, or like what I want to do. But that sounds, I wanted to get it done in 3 months, honestly, but we shall see. Once I get into a momentum, it might be a bit easier for me to try and figure out. It might be easier for me to get them done faster, is what I want to say. Because I haven't drawn consistently in a very long time. I used to draw constantly. This is an interesting fairy. Part of this, I feel like, also is very intuitive. Like, the designing aspect, I feel like I'm also channeling when I'm designing. So I need to be conscious. I also need to be conscious of how much energy I'm using just in general. So I've kind of, like, prioritized my art more. Someone emailed me, I think it was Dion today, I have to email her back, but she asked me where I was, because I haven't been posting on YouTube, which is completely valid. This is cute. Oh, that's cute. Because I've been trying to preserve my energy. Not only that, I've just been trying to figure out where I want to go with what I find fulfilling, and I definitely find this fulfilling. Like, I miss my artwork. I love reading for people, but I miss just creating in general. So the last 3 days since that full moon, I've been doing that. I'm like, do I want to copy this or do I want to make all of them individuals? Yeah. This is a fairy. This is going to just be a fairy layer, I guess. I've also just been kind of doing very light. I want to say I've been doing research, but I've mostly just been watching YouTube videos of other people talking, which is kind of how I do research. But I do have books that I should be reading on just fairy sight and like what people's experiences are with that, because I have my own experiences that I haven't really been like looking to classify or like trying to I don't know, I just allow things to happen. I don't really like try and figure them out. There's only been like a handful of times where I've been like, what the fuck is going on with me? This is more woo woo or out of my comfort zone than I can process. I want to know what's going on. Oh, she's so cute. I don't know her, but she's cute. I kind of see an image here. Okay. What was I saying? I wanted to look into more of like what I've been experiencing, and I also had to really go back into what are you saying here? Oh yeah, I didn't know if I should post this on my main channel, which is Freshmouth TV, or if I should upload this to Clarity Delt, but I might upload this one specifically because we're talking about a lot of spiritual stuff already, and I'm sitting here drawing fairies. One of the topics I wanted to talk about, which I already kind of started in a light post yesterday on my Instagram, on Clarity Delt Tarot Instagram, is fairy encounters. So I don't know, I've just been more inclined to go in that direction. There's other things I'm interested in, and there's other things I'm slowly getting into. Like, I've been having a lot of dreams about Egyptian stuff, which I think is more personal to me than I'm recognizing at this moment. I feel like there's information that's coming in slowly for me, and a lot of that stuff tends to be controversial. When you talk about things that you're not necessarily, well, it's controversial to me because I don't like talking about things that I don't have all of the knowledge of yet, or that I don't have enough of to be talking about it. I'm saying this out loud. This is actually very nice to be able to talk about these things and just sit here and kind of do my shit, but I've always kind of liked Egyptian stuff. I've always used to watch documentaries with my mom. I always used to just be really into stuff like that. One of my best friends in elementary school was super into Egyptian stuff. I'm just going to experiment here with what I want these little guys to look like. I like the dots, so I'm going to add more of those. So, in terms of mine, it's hard to this is why I've been looking into it. It's because I didn't know if what I was experiencing was something that was common for people that like have the sight, is what they say. Because I've always been interested in fairies since I was like a kid. And then that's another thing I've been trying to figure out is like, okay, when did that start with me? And I think it started, honestly, like when I saw Thumbelina when I was younger. I stumbled on Thumbelina from the 20th Century Fox movie, like animated movie from 1995. And then I was like, wait, I remember this movie. But I maybe had only seen it 2 times. It was like one of those things where like my mom rented it from the library on VHS, and I watched it with her, like VHS. So I was like, oh my god, I have to watch this. And I watched it recently, and I was like, this. First of all, that's a great animated movie. Like, I didn't remember any of it, but I remembered like the wonderment of it, and I was probably very young. I would say maybe 4 or 5 years old. So I think that was one of the times where it like came into my head. There's also like other fantasy movies that I used to watch that were really intriguing to me that would talk about like fairy sight, and it just always popped out to me. But I don't think I actually started seeing them until I started acknowledging my spirituality. I also had times where there was a specific person in my life who, if he was around me, I started seeing like blue lights. Like I think I was going through a point where I was going through something that was very heavily spiritual, and there were things happening and I didn't know what it was until now, really, or until time passed and me trying to figure it out. Yeah, that movie is amazing. I love that movie. That was a good... I watched that the other day. That was a good, like... I'm gonna order some Chinese food and fucking just sit here and enjoy myself. I was also beading. I was working on some jewelry. Been doing a lot of things in general. But yeah, what I saw... So first I saw the blue lights. And that used to happen to me at work. Like, I was in the middle of working, and I'd see these fucking lights, like, just in front of me. And that hadn't happened to me before, and I was like, what? I was like, what is that? I think that was one of them. And I only realized that this week. I was like, oh yeah, I've seen those. Because I heard somebody else talking about it. This is one of the things where I have to like hear someone else's experiences to really identify my own. I also see shadows at the corner of my eye. And that started happening once I actually started putting out things in my room when I lived in my other place. And I see them here too, but I specifically have things for fairies in here. Like... but I've always been interested in them. It's so weird because I feel like it's just something that's been inherent in me without me thinking about it or without me really looking for them, if that makes sense. And then because I wasn't looking for them, they just came, like I just started seeing little things. Then the most prominent encounter I had was actually last month. Like, I had a dream, and I think I actually walked past the veil and was around a bunch of fairies. Like, I had never dreamt about them before until this. And I was literally, like, in a field with them. And I was like, oh my god. And it was so vivid. And I woke up, like, just so happy because I was like, that was fucking awesome. And anything, like, I read or, I don't know, I felt, like, accepted to a certain extent, you know? But also, based on, what is it? I just started watching The Mint Fairy on YouTube. And she was talking about how most of the time when fairies give you missions, it has to do with the environment. And I've, for the most part, been pretty environmentally conscious most of my life. But it's only been the last maybe 5 years that I actually stopped killing bugs. Like, I don't kill bugs. Like, if I find a bug, I try to let it out. Like, I'm more compassionate towards them. I don't like killing. Sometimes I flip the fuck out about, cockroaches, and I still don't want to kill them, but most of the time I do, and then I get really upset about it. But, like, that's just, but I, like, oh, God. Like, water bugs, because I live in New York City, so they're huge, and sometimes they fly, and I can't fucking, no. I can't do it. I can't not do it. But, like, fucking, I feel like one of the reasons why I can see them more now is because I'm more compassionate towards smaller things. That is another realization I've come to recently. Like, there's so many things that, like, time has passed, and then I realized later on. I think this one down here is the one on the left is my favorite, and I think maybe I'll make these a bit smaller. These are cute. Where is one? I also wanted to know, like, I think some of them look different, and the Mint Fairy was also saying that some of them look scary, and then I've encountered that too. Like, I've drawn certain things that look like fairies, but they looked kind of morbid, and I was like, okay, this makes sense. And I've also kind of been drawing fairies basically my whole life without thinking about it. I've also had encounters with them that were not the most desirable. Like, there was one I was drawing and it got deleted. Like, I guess she didn't like it and then had me fucking delete the whole thing, and it was gone, and that was like a day of me drawing. But then there's also, like, the fact that when those things happen, I have a level of patience, or I try to. Like, I feel like it's a test. And I feel like that's also contributed to my site, because I have respect for their I have respect for their games, because they play games and they break things sometimes too. But if you're cool about it, or if you look at things in a specific way, like, then you get rewarded in a sense. Not always rewarded, but more like you get. I feel like there's more understanding between you and your fairies, or whoever you're connecting with. Then, about a year or so ago, I discovered, like, that I really love Brian Froud, who designed. I talked about him before. He designed the puppets for the Labyrinth. His wife helped design Yoda in Star Wars, and he heavily believes in fairies. He has books about them that my brother-in-law has, and I've read them. You know what, I'm gonna change her arm. And this is so cute. I love drawing, just in general. Sometimes it's just, you can plan certain things, and then sometimes the things that are not planned are the best ones. Where you're just kind of like playing around. He has some of the symbolism that Brian Froud has created looks like some symbols that we use, like, as sigils. Like, one of them looks like the symbol for Legend of Zelda, and he has a whole thing where he talks about how elves and fairies are basically the same species. Elves just don't have wings. I've considered writing children's books, but I think I have to practice my writing more, honestly. I have also resources. I have books about writing children's books, so that's probably something I'm going to end up doing in my life in general. Oh, she's so cute. I love this. She's so cute. Okay, keep trying. This one over here is like looking like Betty. You know, what the fuck is going on here? And then add some blue to this guy. I need to draw another one. I kind of see where these are going. Oh, I love how this is coming out. Okay, I'm gonna keep drawing these little guys for now. I felt like there was more depth needed in this picture, and I feel like these guys are adding a lot more. Sometimes I'm just like, this is not enough. I'm very hard on myself. Even you guys can't wait until I come on here and scan in the Five of Wands, because the Five of Wands is so fucking extra. Like, I've been designing that the last couple days. Yeah, I feel like I just don't have a story. I mean, I had one. There was one story that I thought of a while ago, but it was kind of scary and morbid, and I don't know if I wanted. That wouldn't be. I don't know if that would be a good children's book or not. It was like It was about like a girl who like could see fairies, and then she fell in love with a boy, and the fairies like didn't want him to take her away, so they like poisoned him or something. So then she turned into this witch that like, I'm being told not to say anything else because this is my idea. But like, she turns into some shit. It turns into some fucking shit, dramatic ass shit. It's kind of like what is it, Maleficent? It's kind of like that. But I wrote that a long time ago. And I was writing it specifically because I wanted to make fairy jewelry, and I wanted there to be like a story centered around what I was making. Which I could still do. It's just, you know, a lot of work. I'm the type of person that'll like hoard ideas and then just leave them somewhere. Someone is calling me. I always get fucking calls from telemarketers. I don't know what's going on with this guy. I'm gonna rotate this. Oh, you know what? I'll do it after, because then I have to flip the fucking whole computer again. He's gonna have one in his hair, but it'll be a different color. No, maybe not yellow, maybe pink. Oh yeah, Halloween bonus. be cool. I mean, it could be a hopeful story, if I wrote it in a specific way. But I don't know. I wrote some bitter ass shit. It looks like, you know what's funny? It looks like it's the same color as the other one, but it's not. It's fucking pink. It's because his hair is so bright. I also think, like, fairies really represents, air and ideas, and, like, so this is probably good to be putting it in his hair. Yeah. Super small. Yeah. Looks like a mosquito. Just beast this really just adds so fucking many. Maybe they're only on him right now. Do I want them in the background? Because I feel like it's mostly about him, so maybe I should only put them on him. Oh, I can see the pink here. of feels like I used to, in high school, I used to like sit in this public atrium with my friends a lot. Like after school, and we just sit there and kind of chat and have snacks and like draw. And I get a lot more drawing done that way. So I feel like this is going to be a lot better for my work ethic, because then I'm just like sitting there like I have to sit the fuck down. It also keeps my mind going to just kind of filter through my thoughts and talk about stuff. Yeah, it kind of does. I like that. I mean, you kind of have to like conjure them up for them to help you, I feel like. Because he already has the Pentacles. I guess it would be more about the magic than the physicality here, even though it's the Eight of Pentacles. Have one throw up a peace sign, because why not? This is kind of also like what it looks like when I see them. Like they're just in front of my face, like these fucking lights sometimes. Or they're just a shadow at the corner of your eye. Maybe I'll make a couple of shadows on his shoulder. That'd be cool. First we're going to clean this up. Now that I'm over here. Let's go over here. I can clean up some of this. Typically, I do traditional sketches and then I scan them. So I don't know, it's just, I don't know, it's not that it's harder for me to draw, like, on the, it doesn't look the same to me. Like, I like that the lines are organic, and then there's the really, what's the word I'm looking for? The stark color of the digital. I like. Let's do a shadow. Yeah, that's fine. That's too dark. I want it like a bit darker. Yeah. Oh no, did I draw this on the right? Oh good, I drew the fairy on the right layer. Oh yeah, I knew a lot of people who do that too, who weren't even into like inherently drawing. Where it was just fun, you know, like to make up stuff. Or you know, like when you just make up a band, like you're never gonna have the band. Like you're never gonna actually form the band or like fucking learn how to play an instrument, but like you just kind of pick a name and then like make an album cover for fun. But like most of my friends in high school actually went to an art high school, so they had to do homework drawing, and then they ended up going to my ex at the time went to School of Visual Arts here in New York, so he was always drawing, and that was like our thing. Like we'd go to cafes and just sit down and like draw, and that was just something I was doing all the time, and now I kind of don't have that like incentive, but I want it back. These are so cute. So cute. I love them. This added so much more to the picture. Yeah, that's another thing is like, it took me a long time to learn the skills enough to be able to do that, like to just, and also be satisfied with not getting everything exactly how I want, because it's not like I'm really drawing from my mind. I'm kind of just like, it's just shapes to at the end of the day, like what this is. Like drawing in general, or even just seeing things in shapes. But I used to get so frustrated, especially in like high school, with not being able to like draw things how I want. This one, I wish this one was darker. guys really just added so much more to this picture. Thank you. I'm excited. This makes me excited just about keep going and stuff. I've always wanted to draw a tarot deck, like, even before I really knew how to read it, which is one of the reasons why I feel like they were like, Claire, it's time for you to do the deck, because we taught you everything. We pushed you to fucking... we pushed you to read cards. There was a time in my life that, like, I didn't know what the fuck was going on with me, or like my spiritual like ascendance, or like why it just heightened like to a very to a degree where I thought I was crazy, you know, and I didn't know how to process certain things, and then I had to like get really in control of my mind, and then it became a process of me getting there and like fighting myself on it, and then getting there again. So, where am I going with this shit? Oh, like, so then there was a point where I really relied on tarot cards to kind of guide me, instead of me guiding myself. And now I can do it without the cards, but now my intuition is like, we did all of this so you could create the deck. Because I don't want to, I'm hard on myself, so I don't want to create a half-assed deck where there's no meaning, there's not enough visual like stimulation for me. So I really needed to understand each card, at least to a base level. And now I'm really going in depth again to learn more and read books and stuff. Do I have the books I've been reading? Where are they? Where did I put them? I borrowed one of them from my sister, and I'm like, where the fuck are my books? They're always just near, like, are always around, because I've been studying so much. But now I don't even know where they are. Oh, they're in the bookcase. So I've been using the tarot guidebook from the Kim Cran's deck, because she has very short but like visually descriptive definitions of the cards. Yeah. And thank you everyone. I've been drawing my whole life, basically. My dad's an artist, and like, he's a painter, and he went to Parsons. And I've obviously been around artists my whole life, so I feel like it's all led up to me doing this, because I really wanted to do this. I've also been reading the... Hold on, let me get it. I'll just get the books. So I have the Tarot Reader by Nancy Shavik, which this is also very interesting in terms of just her descriptions, because she doesn't use specific terminology. Like, she calls the Hierophant Juno, because she doesn't like she has her own opinions about like the religious factors in some of the... She's the devil, though, which doesn't make any goddamn sense. Like, she's the devil is the devil in here. Like, is this the Fool? Or is this the Magician? Like, the Magician is called the Juggler. And the High Priestess is called the Juno. And what does she call the Hierophant? Jupiter. So she changed the names, but her descriptions of the cards in this book are really interesting. So I wanted to study different perspectives and point of views and stuff. Then I also have The Ultimate Guide to Tarot by Liz Dean. And this is my sister, so she has like literal tabs and stuff. But this is just an in-depth overall explanation of the cards, like what it has the alternative names, the numbers, the numerology links. the astrological signs, the elements, the Hebrew letter, the symbol, the meaning. I was studying, the last page I was on was the Hierophant, because I started sketching out the Hierophant. I don't know if I really like that card, but for what I'm using, I feel like I'll probably just refine the sketch itself. I feel like I'm probably going to be able to finish this Eight of Pentacles today, which is exciting, because this will be the first card that's basically done. Then I've also just recently bought Alchemy and Mysticism from the Hermetic Museum. And this just has so much, not only art in it, but information. Like, it has, I just wanted inspiration for the imagery of certain, just for certain cards. I bought this in, I live in Brooklyn, but I went all the way to Bedford to this bookstore that I really like, that I really love, honestly, because I bought so many books in there. They had so many occult books. I got some funny books too. Like, I've been reading this book. It's called The Faggots and Their Friends Between Revolutions. In this book, obviously, originally the word faggot it means a pile of sticks, which I think is ironic. And I think it's funny to me. But obviously it's also used as a word of malice. But in this book, it's more of a word of self-categorization, or like, because they talk about fairies in here. And I think that's why it's funny they're friends between revolutions, because fairies are also a word that are used towards homosexual people, like both of these. But they separate that word with men. So, like, it's the faggots, and then there's men. So, and every poem in here, because it's mostly poems and, like, just passages and art. I love this book. They're all very true. Like, all very truthful. I'll read one of them, because I'll read a short one. Because I've been doing this with my friends. Like, I'll just pick a fucking page out of here. Oh my god, okay, let's read this one. This says disruption tactics. Whenever the faggots leave their small liberated areas to enter the spaces of the men, they cause scenes. I don't know if you can see me. They do not really mean to do this. But the men cannot resist looking, pointing, yelling, or pushing the faggots. Let two faggots kiss discreetly in the dark corner of a crowded restaurant, and pandemonium will break out. Let two faggots begin to rub their bodies together rhythmically to some slow melody, and hissing will begin. The faggots have accepted all that they know and see as the way things are, and so can no longer be shocked. The men live in fantasy that everyone is like them, and so are constantly shocked. And I think men, obviously, I don't think all men are misogynistic, but men is the word that is being used for the misogyny that is laid out towards groups of people who naturally express themselves. That's basically the theme of the book. And I think that they use the word faggot specifically because of its shock value and because it's so jarring. But this book's fucking amazing. I love this book. It's been giving me inspiration for some of my cards, especially the Five of Wands and other cards, like wand cards in general, because I see wands as a phallic symbol most of the time anyway. And it's a pile of sticks, like. So I just think that's amusing. I was like sitting here, like, and I'm definitely not straight, like, in general, in terms of my own sexuality. I don't really talk about my sexuality in general, but I don't identify as straight. So the book has just got me fucked up, especially since one of the passages talks about fairies and dancing with the fairies and all this stuff. And it kind of described the dream I had the other day. And I was like, I guess I'm a faggot. And I was like, talking to one of my friends. But it's a very jarring word for most people. This is hilarious. So, bank. Yeah, in the F word, and I use the F word all the time. I love the word. I love that word. But what is the original meaning of fuck? Like, it's fornication of the king, under the king, which means, like, you gotta go ask permission from the higher, I'm hearing the higher realm, which really should be, you have to ask permission from your guides to go mix fluids. Like, and you probably should be doing that because it's good advice, because they're gonna be sitting here like, you don't, they see what's attached to somebody, but you don't most of the time. This is where the first video on this thing gets real woo woo. I don't even know how long I've been on here. Oh, I've been on here an hour. So I think I'm gonna leave this here because I'm really happy with this and I need to eat. So this is the final result for today for this 8 of Wands, and I think I'm gonna finish him up tonight. If you guys want to purchase any of the prints, because I feel like before the actual deck comes out, I'm going to have certain prints of certain cards out for sale. So if you want to know when those are up, make sure you have me on Instagram. Make sure you have my Etsy store, which is linked it's linked on here on Twitch. But it's linked in a bunch of different places, especially on my YouTube and stuff like that, in the description. Right now I'm going to be listing a bunch of jewelry that I've made, and that's going to go up by the weekend. I have at least 6 pieces of jewelry that I'm about to put up and they're all fairy related and spiritual related, with crystals and stuff like that. Thank you guys so much for watching, especially Evelyn, who's been in here live the whole time chatting. And if you're watching at another time, thank you for checking this out. Please leave a comment about anything I was talking about in this video. So yeah, thank you. I love you guys. I'm just gonna go to just me. Bye.